history, every culture has told stories of its heroes, figures who embody the values and ideals of their society. From Beowulf to the Hunger Games,
humanity has celebrated courage, sacrifice, and perseverance through tales that reflect our deepest hopes and fears.
Though separated by time, language, and geography, these stories share a universal pattern known as the hero's journey. A timeless narrative that reveals what it means to grow, struggle, and triumph as a human being. An archetype is the original pattern or model from which all things of the same kind are copied or based. In other words, it's a prototype or ideal example, a blueprint that shapes how we recognize certain characters, situations, and symbols in stories. Archetypes are drawn from shared human experiences and appear again and again across cultures and time periods. When we see the brave warrior, the wise mentor, or the trickster, we are recognizing these familiar patterns that connect stories from ancient myths to modern movies. What does this mean to us? Stories are told and retold, passed down from generation to generation. History lives again, repeating itself in new forms, new voices, new faces. Across continents and centuries, cultures share familiar myths and heroes. The names may change, the settings may shift, but the patterns remain. Our lives are built on these same rhythms, patterns, repetitions, models. They shape how we think, how we dream, and how we tell our stories. Because every tale, whether ancient or new, is a reflection of us, our struggles, our triumphs, our need to find meaning in the journey. We look to the archetypes of the past, to the heroes, the dreamers, the rebels, the seekers. They showed us who we could be. And one day, we will become the archetypes for those who come after. Our lives, our stories, our struggles, and our triumphs will echo forward, just as those before us still echo today. You will be the model for the future. The choices you make, the courage you show, the stories you live, these will shape the myths yet to be told. Because the journey never ends. It only begins again, with you. Who are these heroes? Where do we find them? Why do we care? They are not just legends in books or names carved in stone. They are the people who shape our world every day. They are our parents, our teachers, our coaches, our mentors, our friends. They are the ones who lift us up, guide us forward, and remind us who we are. We see them in our literature, our movies, our video games, our social media feeds. Heroes are everywhere, in every story told, in every challenge faced, in every person who dares to make a difference. Many of these heroic qualities can be remembered through a single word, mopsfib. An easy way to study the hero's journey, first introduced by English teacher Betty Barsulia in the 1990s. Each letter holds a piece of what it means to be a hero. M. Morals. The sense of right and wrong that guides every choice. O. Optimism. The light that shines even in the darkest moments. P. Perseverance. The will to keep going when the road grows hard. S. Strength. Both physical and emotional, to face whatever comes. F. Faith, a belief in something greater than themselves. I. Intelligence, the wisdom to think, learn, and adapt. B. Bravery, the courage to act when fear says stop. Together, these form the heart of every hero's story and the beginning of every journey. Heroes, wherever they come from, share common themes. The path they walk has many names, but we know it as the hero's journey. Across cultures, throughout time, from ancient myths to modern movies, the pattern remains the same. Every hero must set out on a journey, to seek something greater, to face trials that test their spirit, to discover who they truly are. They strive to achieve a goal meant only for them, to complete a task that no one else can fulfill. It is their destiny, their purpose, their call to adventure. In 1949, Joseph Campbell published The Hero with 1,000 Faces. He found that virtually all the cultures of the world, the mythologies, the religions, and the stories shared a common theme. The hero must journey. The hero must transform. No matter the language, no matter the era, This pattern appears again and again, a reflection of the human experience itself, a reminder that we are all, in some way, heroes on our own path of change and discovery. Campbell's study of the journey is vast and complex. Entire college courses are devoted to understanding his work, to exploring the layers, the patterns, the timeless truths he uncovered. But we don't have to climb that mountain all at once. Years later, a storyteller named Christopher Vogler took Campbell's ideas and shaped them into something familiar, a clear, powerful 3-act structure that echoes through the stories we know and love. This is the version we will explore together. The version that reveals the path of the hero, step by step. We will walk through Vogler's adaptation of Campbell's work to understand the call, the challenges, the transformation, and the return. This is where our journey begins, the hero's journey. Every hero's journey begins the same way, at home. Before the battles, before the monsters, before the glory, there is the ordinary world, the place of comfort, of routine, of what is known. This is where we meet the hero before the call to adventure, where we see who they are and who they might become. In Beowulf, the hero lives among his people, a warrior of the Geats, before sailing across the sea to face the monster Grendel. In the Odyssey, Odysseus begins as a king in Ithaca, a man with a family, a kingdom, and a home worth fighting for. In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker tends moisture farms on Tatooine, dreaming of stars, unaware of the destiny waiting just beyond the horizon. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo Baggins lives a quiet life in the Shire, surrounded by comfort, unaware that a single ring will change everything. In Jaws, Chief Brody patrols a small beach town, believing his greatest challenge is summer tourists, not a monster lurking beneath the waves. And in The Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen struggles to keep her family alive in District 12, a world she knows, a world that's hard, but familiar. The ordinary world grounds the story. It shows us what the hero has, what they stand to lose, and why their journey matters.
Every great journey begins with a spark, a moment that shatters the ordinary. This is the call to adventure. It arrives as a challenge, a threat, a whisper, a knock on the door. It demands that the hero step beyond what is known and venture into a world that will change them forever. In Beowulf, the call comes when a monster named Grendel terrorizes the Hall of Heorot. A hero must rise. In the Odyssey, the call is war. Odysseus must leave Ithaca to fight at Troy. For Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, it's a message from a princess and the arrival of a wise old Jedi. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo's call is a simple ring that carries the weight of the world. For Chief Brody in Jaws, the call is a body on the beach and a killer lurking beneath the waves. For Katniss in The Hunger Games, the call is a name, her sister's name, pulled from a bowl. But the hero does not always say yes, not at first. And so comes the next step, the refusal of the call. Fear creeps in, doubt takes hold, the weight of the unknown presses down. Beowulf pauses before leaving his homeland. Odysseus longs for Ithaca even as he sails away. Luke insists, "I can't get involved." Frodo cries out, "Why me?" Brody wants to close the beaches, not fight a monster. Katniss begs for another way to keep her sister safe. The refusal makes the call more human. It shows us their fear, our fear, and makes their courage matter even more. The call will not be silenced. The journey is waiting. Every hero faces the unknown, but no hero faces it alone. At the edge of the ordinary world, when fear is loud and courage feels small, a mentor appears. The mentor does not fight the battle for them. They light the path. They offer wisdom, guidance, or a simple push forward. And in that moment, the hero takes their first true step. In Beowulf, wise elders and loyal warriors speak of honor, reminding him of what it means to be a hero. In the Odyssey, Athena herself becomes Odysseus's guide, whispering wisdom through storm and struggle. In Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi hands Luke a lightsaber. A weapon, yes, but more importantly, a purpose. In The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf is the light in Frodo's darkness, urging him forward when fear would have him stay behind. In Jaws, Hooper brings knowledge of the sea, while Quint brings hard-earned experience, two guides for Brody's coming fight. And in The Hunger Games, Haymitch, flawed, broken, but wise, teaches Katniss how to play the deadly game she's been forced into. Mentors come in many forms: a warrior, a friend, a teacher, a voice. But they all carry the same gift, the belief that the hero can become more than they are. There comes a moment in every hero's story when the ordinary world falls away. The line between safety and danger is drawn, and the hero steps across. This is crossing the threshold. It is the point of no return, the moment when the journey truly begins. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo Baggins accepts the burden of the One Ring. He leaves behind the safety of the Shire, stepping into a world of shadows and war, knowing he may never come home the same. In Jaws, Chief Brody reaches his breaking point. A boy is dead. His own son was nearly taken. The shark is no longer just a threat. It's a battle he must face. And so, he boards the boat and sails toward the danger. In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker returns to find his home in flames, the farm, his family, his past, all gone. With nothing left to hold him back, he chooses the stars. And in The Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen boards the train to the capital, leaving the familiar, entering a world designed to destroy her. The journey has truly begun. Once the hero crosses the threshold, the path is no longer smooth, the world grows larger, the stakes grow higher, and the journey grows dangerous. This is the stage of tests, allies, and enemies, where the hero is tested, where friends are found and foes revealed. In Jaws, Chief Brody steps aboard the Orca. The ocean is vast and merciless. His allies, Hooper, the eager expert, and Quint, the hardened hunter, clash as much as they cooperate. The shark is not just a monster in the water. It's a force that pushes them to their limits, testing their strength, their trust, their will to survive. In The Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen enters the arena. Every corner is a test. Every face could be a friend or a threat. Allies like Peeta and Rue become lifelines, while enemies lurk in the shadows, ready to strike. Here, she learns to fight, to trust, to endure. In Beowulf, the mighty hero faces more than Grendel alone. He confronts doubt, pride, and fear. Allies gather in Heorot Hall, warriors who will stand with him when the monster comes. But not everyone believes. Enemies are not only beasts, they are whispers, doubts, and the weight of expectation. This is where the true hero begins to emerge. Every journey leads to a threshold. Not the first one, but the deepest. This is the approach to the inmost cave, the place where fear grows heavy and the real danger begins. In Jaws, Brody, Quint, and Hooper stalk the shark in open waters. The laughter fades. The tension tightens. They are far from shore, far from safety, and the ocean belongs to the beast. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo and his companions near Mordor. Darkness closes in. Allies falter. The weight of the ring grows heavier with each step. In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker and his friends are pulled into the Death Star. No longer dreamers, no longer safe. They are inside the heart of the enemy. The hero stands on the edge of the storm. The greatest test is waiting.
Every hero must face their darkest moment. This is the ordeal, the point where everything they've gained can be lost. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo stands before the fires of Mount Doom. The weight of the ring is unbearable. The journey has broken him. Victory or ruin hangs by a single choice. In The Hunger Games, Katniss faces death in the arena. The capital watches. The odds are against her. And still, she chooses defiance. She turns fear into power. The ordeal strips away everything but truth. This is where the hero is remade.
After the storm comes a moment of light. This is the reward, when the hero seizes what they have fought so hard to earn. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo's victory at Mount Doom breaks the power of the ring. Evil falls. The quest is fulfilled. He does not return as the hobbit who left, but as one who has carried the weight of the world and survived. In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker watches the Death Star explode. The rebellion has hope. The farm boy has become the hero. He's earned not just a medal, but a new identity. A warrior of the stars. The reward is not only the prize, it's the proof. The hero has changed, the hero has won, but the journey is not over. This is the road back. The moment when triumph must turn toward home. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo and the Fellowship return from the shadow of Mordor. The war is over, but the world has changed, and so have they. The Shire is no longer the same. Neither is the hero who left it.
In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker and his allies fly back to the Rebel base. The Death Star is gone. but a greater war still looms. This is not the end, only the turning point. The road back reminds us, victory is not the last step, it is the journey home that completes the hero's path. Every hero must face one final test, a moment where the world holds its breath. This is the resurrection, the last trial, the rebirth of the hero. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo returns from Mordor forever changed. He has survived darkness, carried its weight, and emerged not untouched, but transformed. The hobbit who left the Shire is gone. In his place stands someone forged by fire. In Beowulf, the mighty warrior faces his final battle against the dragon, not as a young hero hungry for glory, but as a king ready to give everything. His death is not just an end, it is a passing of the torch, a final fiery resurrection in the memory of his people. The resurrection is the moment when heroes prove not just that they can survive, but that they have become something greater. The journey does not end with the battle. The true ending comes with the return, when the hero brings something back, something learned, something earned, something powerful. This is return with the elixir. In Beowulf, the hero's victories echo through time. Even in death, his courage becomes the treasure his people inherit. In the Odyssey, Odysseus returns home at last, scarred, wiser, but triumphant. His elixir is not gold or power, but the peace of home restored.
In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker returns to the rebellion, no longer a boy from Tatooine, but a symbol of hope for the galaxy. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo returns to the Shire, carrying not a ring, but the weight of all he's seen. His journey has saved the world, and changed him forever. In Jaws, Brody returns to shore, the shark defeated, bringing safety and courage back to a town that had lost both. And in The Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen steps off the train, no longer just a hunter from District 12, but a spark, a symbol of something greater than herself.
The elixir is not always a treasure. Sometimes it is knowledge. Sometimes it is change. But always, it is the gift the hero brings back to the world.
Every story begins somewhere. Every hero starts in the ordinary world. But what makes a hero is not where they begin. It's the journey they choose to take. From Beowulf to the Odyssey, from Tatooine to the Shire, from the shark-infested waters of Jaws to the fire of the Hunger Games, the pattern remains the same. The hero is called. The hero struggles. The hero changes. And in the end, the hero returns, bringing light, hope, or truth back to the world. These stories are more than myths. They are mirrors. They reflect our fears, our dreams, our strength. And one day, you will stand at the threshold. You will hear the call. And when you do, may you step forward and begin your own hero's journey.